Magandang umaga, Malacañang Press Corps at sa ating mga bisita. Welcome sa weekly economic briefing. Kasama natin ngayong araw si DTI and Assistant Secretary Tony Lambino. DOF Tony Lambino.
Salamat, Yusek Rocky. Magandang umaga sa lahat at welcome po sa ating weekly economic press briefing co-hosted by the Economic Development Cluster and PCOO. Bahagi ang rural development sa 0 to 10-point socio-economic agenda ng Administrasyong Duterte. Layunin nito na paundarin ang rural and value chain hanggang sa kanayunan tungo sa pagpapalago ng industriya at sektor ng pagsasaka, maging ang pagpapataas ng ani at kita para sa magsasakang Pilipino. Ngayong umaga ay makakasama natin ang Department of Agriculture at mga attached agencies sa liderato ni Secretary William Dar, kasama si Undersecretary Ariel Cayanan, maging si Assistant Secretary Anne Claire Cobotchan ng Department of Trade and Industry upang magbigay ng mga update sa ating mga programa sa ilalim ng Rice Competitiveness Enhancement Fund sa ilalim ng Rice Tarification Law. Kasama din natin sa umagang ito si Ginoong Luis Gamboa, ang Pangulo ng Federation of Farmers Association ng Ibaan, Batangas, maging ang ating kinatawan mula sa consumers, si Ginoong Jose Sosa, ang Pangulo ng Bulacan Consumer Affairs Council Incorporated. Mga kaibigan sa MPC at mga manonood, narito si Manong Willie Dar, doktor ng agham ng pagsasaka, naghahatid ng pag-asa at ng hihikayat ng mga puso sa lungsod at kanayunan upang patuloy na lumago ang pambansang agrikultura at makamit ng mga maliliit na magsasaka at mangingisda ang masaganang ani at mataas na kita. Kalihim, Manong Willie Dar.
Salamat po, Assistant Secretary Tony Lambino, Yusek Rocky Ignacio, long time no see. At saka mga ating mga kaibigan sa media and the colleagues from various participating agencies ng Rice Competitiveness Enhancement Fund. Nandito po yung mga component leaders. And so we are here to we would like to give you a brief update where we are in terms of the implementation of the Rice Competitiveness Enhancement Fund under the Rice Tarification Law. So by June, the implementing rules and regulations of the law, Republic Act 11203, was approved by the Program Steering Committee. You know, there is a interdepartmental composite Program Steering Committee, and that's chaired by the Secretary of the Department of Agriculture. By July, the component guidelines and protocols, I would call those, based from the law, IRR, then now the component guidelines and protocols were all approved in the month of July. Now, I came in August 5, okay? And I think this is my 38th day, 1 month old po ako ngayon, at tamang-tama month-sari ko ngayon. At si Yusek Rocky pa ang host dito. So there is always, this time to report back ano na po yung ginagawa ng inyong lingkod. Ako po ang Manong Willie, ang servant leader sa agrikultura. Now, having mentioned those timelines, starting August up until now, we strengthened yung mga biddings, like the seed distribution is almost ready, and the distribution of the seeds will now start eventually now this planting season. You know, we are now coming to the dry season planting. The bidding for the mechanization component is starting this September, so that by the end of December, naka-distribute na rin sa mga farmers cooperatives and associations. Yung sa training, they will roll out now the various training components in support to Rice Competitiveness Enhancement Program. So the credit component is now with the Land Bank of the Philippines, half of the 1 billion, and half of that went to DBP. Handa na rin lahat po yung guidelines na pagpapatupad sa apat na components ng Rice Competitiveness Enhancement Fund. So, 1 month old, I saw to it that from day one, this is one of those I have given focus. Let's accelerate the last mile protocols or mechanisms so that we can strengthen the proper implementation of the RCEP. Particularly, it's not only the DA that's having a responsibility, but it's a interdepartmental program involving TESDA for training and the banking sector like Land Bank of the Philippines and the DBP. So my request to the leadership, Undersecretary Ariel, Tony Abaya, Andrew Villacorta, I said, let's do it right. Let's now accelerate the implementation of this important program coming from the Rice Fund of the Rice Tarification Law. We are happy that this law has come, and while there are birth pangs, over time, I believe this will help, again, the rice farmers become more productive, more competitive, and more prosperous at the end of the day. Those are the three basic objectives of the rice tarification law. There are other components of the rice tarification law. We are in the midst of finalizing the roadmap for the rice industry. We are also formulating the crop diversification strategy as required under the rice tarification law, and many other components that are necessary to make it possible that, yes, the rice industry in the country will be very competitive at the end of the day. So I think I have to stop there, and we are ready, Undersecretary Raki.
MPC questions or kailangan mo na may sasabihin ba si Ginoong Jose Sosa ng siya yung President ng Bulacan Consumers Affairs and Luis Gamboa, President ng Federation of Farmers Association. Meron po ba kayo nais mo nang sabihin?
Well, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat na naririto at yung ating mga kababayan na nakikinig, lahat po ng consumer, kasama po ang farmers. Ang iyong lingkod po, si Jose Sosa, representing ng ating consumer sector. Ang aking masasabi lang po dito sa ating rice tarification law has really helped our consumers dahil bumaba po yung presyo ng ating bigas. Hindi lang yan, yung ating inflation rate din po ay bumaba. Pero meron po tayong sektor na dapat pagtuunan ng pansin. Ito po yung ating mga magsasaka na sa ngayon ay dumadaing. I believe Secretary Dar has already came out with his 18-point agenda or action plans to address this problem of the farmers. So, siguro, bigyan natin sila ng panahon. It's too early to say na ito ay failure, ito ay success. We believe, kauupo lang ni Secretary Dar, we give him time to implement this. Siguro lahat po ng ating agencies involved in this RCEP, dapat tulong-tulong po tayo, magkaisa po tayo. Kami sa consumer, magbabantay po kami dyan para makita kung ito pong batas na ito ay matutulungan talaga yung ating mga farmers. In fact, a while ago, I was suggesting na dapat magkaroon ng floor price. Pero hindi daw po pwede. Kasi ito, immediate. No? I hope these 18-point action plans of the different organizations of government will really address this problem of our consumers na farmers.
Okay.
Thank you very much and Good morning.
Sa grupo naman po na magsasaka.
Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat ng mga naririto. Higit sa lahat po ay sa Panginoon at sa ating pong Secretary, William Dar. Magandang umaga po, magandang tanghali po. Bilang po isang representative ng rice farmer, particular po doon sa lugar namin sa Ibaan, Batangas, ay representing po na yung aming mga rice farmer at kahit po dito sa buong Pilipinas na nagsasuffer po ngayon tungkol sa ating presyo ng palay, ay ako po yung nagpapasalamat na ako po ay maimbitahan sa ganitong forum na yung pong boses namin na maliit na magsasaka ay talagang nagpapasalamat po kami na kayo po ay gumagawa ng paraan para kami ay abutin. At salamat po din sa mga pamunuan ng DA, lalo higit sa ating pong Pangulo at sa lahat po ng agency na tulong-tulong. Sana po yung pong pinaliwanag ni Mr. Sosa na yung pong binalangkas niya ang ating secretary na 18 mga makatutulong na programa na kanyang ibinaba sa maiksing panahon ng kanyang panunungkulan ay isa pong pag-asa sa aming maliliit na mga magsasaka upang yung pong ating mga rice farmer ay hindi mawalan ng pag-asa.
Okay.
Dahil lang po sa amin sa katotohanan po sa presyo ngayon ng ating palay, yung pong iba natin magsasaka nag-iisip na tumigil. Pero salamat po na meron po tayo na ang ating gobyerno ay talagang iniisip talaga yung kanilang magagawa upang maipaabot yung tulong sa aming mga maliit na magsasaka upang buhayin ang ating pansaka, sa particular po sa palay, sapagkat yan po yung una nating pangangailangan. Kaya ako po'y naniniwala na kami po na mga magsasaka maliliit ay darating din po ang panahon na kami ay makakaangat. At nagpapasalamat po kami sa ganitong pagkakataon na kami po ay talagang inaabot ninyo. Marami pong salamat.
Salamat po. Si DTI Assistant Secretary Cabuchan.
Yes. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. The Department of Trade and Industry is chair of the National Price Coordinating Council pursuant to the Price Act and by virtue of the Memorandum Order numbers 26 and 27 issued by Malacañang in 2018, continues to assist the Department of Agriculture in monitoring the prices and supply of agricultural products and particularly rice in the market. Even prior to the issuance of Memorandum Order numbers 26 and 27, the DTI has been assisting the DA since July 2018. In Metro Manila, the DTI is monitoring 789 stalls in 27 wet markets. The DTI regional and provincial offices are also monitoring the wet markets in their respective areas of jurisdiction. The DTI also enlisted the assistance of the market administrators of the local government units in informing and educating the consumers and wet market retailers about the reasonable farm gate to retail prices and ensuring that agricultural products are sold within this level. As the market administrators, they are DTI's partners in monitoring for the prices of agricultural commodities in their respective areas. For rice specifically, the monitoring data of the DTI is consistent with that of the Philippine Statistics Authority. As of the second week of August 2019, the prevailing price of regular milled rice is at 35 pesos per kilo, 40 pesos per kilo for well-milled rice, 46.50 pesos for premium rice, and 50 pesos per kilo for special rice. NFA rice, on the other hand, remains to be either 27 per kilo for regular milled rice and 32 pesos per kilo for well-milled rice. On the role of the DTI in the implementation of the rice tariffication law, the department assists the Department of Agriculture, the Department of Finance, the National Economic Development Authority in the promotion of the rice tariffication law for the understanding and awareness of consumers. The different offices within the DTI are closely working together to align our advocacy efforts to properly inform the consumers and all relevant stakeholders on the objectives and benefits of the RTL. Thank you.
Okay, ang PC, kasama rin natin si TA Undersecretary Ariel Cayanan and PCO Undersecretary Lorraine Badoy. Questions? Maricel Halili, TV5.
Hi, sir. Good morning. Secretary, there are a number of farmers and even a congressman in Nueva Ecija who are blaming the rice tariffication law dun daw po sa pagbagsak ng presyo ng palay. What do you think of this, sir?
Even before the inaction of the rice tariffication law, di ba, mayroon ng pagbaba ng palay prices. So may nagsasamantala. And we'll see to it that we will apply the full force of the law on hoarding if we feel there will be hoarding. And of course, there was a Senate hearing this week mentioning that only few harvests are taking place and in few instances talagang bumaba. Pero yung karamihan na magsasaka natin ngayon ay the main harvest will still take place itong mid-September pataas hanggat October and November. And measures are in place to make it possible na babalik dun po sa presyo na NFA price. And I can articulate before you kung ano pa yung ibang measures that we are putting in place.
Sir, can you elaborate yung na-mention ninyo kanina na hoarding? Gaano kalaki yung problema?
Well, malaki po ang problema kasi, of course, as a result of the RTL, mayroon pumasok na, di ba, ng mga imports. At the same time, when the RTL was being finalized that season, binagsak na nila ng presyo ng palay. Paano mo mai-attribute na RTL yan? And that was like taking opportunity na binagsak na yung presyo at hindi na sila bumili. So they stopped buying, they stopped milling. But to some extent, we would like to believe na marami na rin sila nabili nung season na yon eh. So we will see whether there is, we are still looking at our data, our information, and as I've said, there is anti-hoarding law, and we will implement the full force of the law.
Who are these people, sir, that you're referring to? Yung involved dun sa hoarding? Sino yung marami nang nabili?
Yung mga traders and millers.
Mhm.
Opo. Yung nag-import naman ay we are asking them, they're starting to bring their imports to the market so that the prices of rice in the market must further go down.
Because I think one of the issues na pinopoint out nila, parang yung mga pag-open daw dun sa mga imported rice yung naging reason. So don't you see any need to further study yung suspension ng importation permits?
Ganito po, legally we have to go through non-tariff measures that will manage, I would use the word manage, the importation of rice. In what way? Kasi marami nang pumasok, sabi natin. So every application now, we will see to it that we will have to, before the issuance of new sanitary and phytosanitary clearances, we will inspect at the port of origin itong mga rice to be imported. At titignan natin whether these imported stocks are complying to the sanitary and phytosanitary measures. So ito, pag nakakita kami ng foreign object doon sa bigas na iangkat, ay i-hold namin. That's one, that's legal. Kung makakita na kami isang bukbok doon sa bigas, i-hold namin. until the book is out, kahit isa lang. That's how strict we will in terms of now implementing the sanitary and phytosanitary measures.
Okay, Raymond Tinasa, Bombo Radio. Microphone, Maricel.
Naimbaga pangal daw po. Secretary, ito lang kasi di ba sa lugar natin sa norte, kung kailan malapit na yung harvest season ng mga palay, tumama yung dalawang magkasunod na bagyo. So, masaklap. Pero mayroon na ba tayong estimation kung ilan, magkano yung nasira na mga palay na nabasa? Saka kung meron tayong pwedeng itulong sa mga tinamaang magsaka, na lalo pa yung hindi mga miyembro ng mga organisasyon ng mga magsaka.
Mayroon na po ang yung first typhoon that hit Ilocos Norte particularly. The damage reported and validated by us is almost reaching 200 million pesos. Now, what have we done? We have released ayuda to Ilocos Norte and through the provincial governments, a substantial amount of seeds that can be again used by the farmers para a quick turnaround. 18.1 million worth of seeds of palay, corn, and vegetables. Mayroon din calamity emergency loan assistance na implemented by Land Bank of the Philippines and with our collaboration. So all are in place. And as a matter of fact, bumalik kami, marami kasi yung regular programs and projects ng DA na we also release substantial mga machineries, mga, again, other interventions na pwedeng pantulong sa mga apektado ng mga rice farmers. In short, Ilocos Norte have received almost 300 million pesos in this regard. Yung second typhoon, very negligible, about 1 million or so impact. So we handled that well also.
Ito, familiar ka siguro ito yung sa atin pairik. Matagal lang nang-hostage to sa mga magsaka, yung mga para mga loan sharks, mga nagpapautang, at hindi naniningil ng pera, kundi palay. So, no choice yung magsaka kasi, kundi doon lang ibenta o ibayad doon sa nagpautang sa kanya ng cash bilang puhunan or capital sa pagsaka. Meron ba tayong parang pwedeng gawin na aggressive para instead na uutang sa mga nagpapairik o yung mga loan sharks na ito sa magsaka?
Marami po.
Oo.
Marami po. Let me mention yung Sure Aid program ng Department of Agriculture with our Agriculture Credit Policy Council in collaboration with Land Bank of the Philippines. Alam niyo, it took us only about 20 days to put up this program, and we just rolled this out last Monday. And the amount allocated is 1.5 billion pesos, and this is being offered for farmers tilling 1 hectare and below. The loan assistance is 15,000 pesos per hectare per farmer, and zero interest and payable in 8 years. Now, this is a very important intervention, not only in terms of calamities, but this time where a number of our farmers are now affected by the falling prices of palay. Marami pa po. May mga loan programs that would give 2% interest to those farmers na tilling 1 hectare and up. Maraming ma-avail na loan programs. At gusto ko ibalita na after the President of the Land Bank of the Philippines, si CEO Cecil Borromeo, have already presented to the cabinet, the first cabinet meeting I attended after taking my oath. At meron silang 3-year action plan and highlighting their increasing involvement from almost 10 billion a year and the next 3 years exposing 30 billion pesos. And what is one thing good is I also sit in the board of Land Bank and looking at every opportunity to ease doing business with Land Bank. So wala na yung long process. quick response na sila, yung mindset nila has been rebooted. So, ang ganda po.
Agyaman na po.
Okay, RJ, Business World.
Sir, good morning. The Sagip Saka Act is supposed to help, correct, sir? So, any update on the IRR, sir?
Tama po, at I was asking the officials, our officials in the DA, because this will be very important in tandem with the implementation of the Rice Competitiveness Enhancement Fund. When you have to buy like seeds, certified seeds from farmers associations or cooperatives, ay wala nang bidding. That's part of the law. That's part of the IRR, okay? So we are in the final stage of looking at the draft IRR, and I'll see to it that this will be out this week.
This week, sir?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Okay, questions? I'm Pia Gutierrez, ABS-CBN.
So, sir, you are saying that the Department of Agriculture is blaming hoarding for the drop in palay prices and not because of the entry of cheap imported rice?
Well, I have said that that's the major direction with which we are looking at. Of course, importation, nandyan na as part of the law to bring in. And you have seen the result of bringing in more rice at this point in time, but we will not bring in now rice during harvest time. And following the measures I have outlined, applying non-tariff measures or mechanisms. So you have seen the outcome of having affordable and accessible rice in the market. The inflation rate has gone down from a high then in 2018 of 5.6, 5.8% to now 2% more or less. So that, that's the very positive outcome of the rice tariffication law. We would like to believe that those who have imported should also bring out more what have been imported para bababa pa yung presyo. Marami pang pwedeng magawa at maibsan pa yung mataas na presyo sa merkado.
So, sir, could you react to the sinabi ng Philippine Confederation of Grains Association that at least 3,000 rice mills nationwide have stopped operation due to the influx of cheaper imports?
We'll validate that. We don't have yet the final information.
So, no information pa muna, sir. Sir, aside from yung pagiging strict doon sa ating checking on sanitary requirements, no? So, paano pa po pahigpitin ang requirements para
Meron
malimit
pa po,
yung importation ng imported
under
rice?
Anti-Dumping Act, mayroon tayong tinatawag doon na special and general safeguard measures. So this is now under study by the Tariff Commission and NEDA, and we are trying to help them enhance this process so that this is an opportunity kung may taas pa rin yung taripa. That's the direction. When there's so much supply of rice in the market at hindi pa bumababa yung presyo, ito po yung susundan natin na action.
So, gaano kalaki, sir, yung na-expect natin, sir, na pagtaas sa tariffs
Wala
because
pa
of that
po.
measure?
Let's not let's not put up a guess. We will mention once the Tariff Commission has already put up the recommendations.
Last na lang, sir. There was a comment by Senator Cynthia Villar that local government purchases of rice doon directly sa mga farmers nagkakaproblema because of the constraints from the government procurement rules. So how do we address this,
Ganito
sir?
po, let's start with the NFA. May 7 billion sila at ginagawa nila rin yung katungkulan nila na bibili ngayon at handa na po sila. On top of that, as the new chair of the NFA Council, I said, let's follow what I call an accelerated rollover scheme. What does that mean? Buy palay, mill, sell. Di ba pag nagnegosyo ka, paikutin mo yung pera. So pag pinaikot po yung pera ng 7 billion, it has a multiplier effect of 3 to 4 times. So yung 7 billion magiging 21 billion, or even times 4, that's 28 billion. So that's one of the measures we have already put in place. Talagang the capacity and the ability for NFA has to be elevated so that mas marami po silang mabili. What are the other measures? Mayroon din yung mga warehouses nila na underutilized. And the instruction given is some of them have been leased with the private sector. And I directed the administrator na the leases with private sector has to end, and will give priority to provincial governments that will engage in palay buying, in milling, or in marketing rice. I've been moving around the provinces para lang makita natin yung paano na lang yung attention and focus na binibigay ng iyong lingkod. There are now by this time, kasi we met, I move around for the last 7 days around the countries to the provinces. Then yesterday we met with the League of Provincial Governors, and there were about 18 of them who came. Of course, mainly the officials, but other governors came. But before even the meeting yesterday, there were 13 provincial governments that have committed to go into this economic enterprise mandate of theirs, which is part of the law giving them mandate to really engage in business. Now, yesterday with the additional, sabihin natin, 12, isang dosena na naragdag doon sa 13, mayroon na tayong 25 provinces all over the country now that have committed to buy palay at the level, the farm gate price is 17 pesos. Kung pwede pa nila dagdagan, that's now their call. Kasi what is important, if you compare 17 pesos with that of the cost of production of 12 pesos, may ganansya na ang isang magsasaka ng 5 piso sa 1 kilo. Okay? So, lahat ito, kung 25, ano na yung number ko? 25 at an average of 200 million investment. Magkano na po yun? That's already 5 billion pesos. 5 billion at nakatoka sa mga may problema na mga bumababa ng presyo, almost the top rice producing countries of the country, provinces I mean, the top rice producing provinces of the country now have committed to be doing this economic enterprise, buying palay and doing the business until they sell. Now, what other models? The other model with which they can do business is to invest their money through National Food Authority. Kasi ang NFA, that's their main business dati na. So ibibigay lang yung 200 million, for example, or 500 million. Like Isabela is the role model here. 450 million ang investment nila dito sa pagnenegosyo sa balay paying. So they give it to NFA and under their terms, they identify which areas NFA must buy. And these are the areas, the poorer segment of the rice farmers. So again, the principle, meron akong in-advocate in agriculture, those who have less in life, yung sinabi po ating mahal na Pangulo na si Ramon Magsaysay dati, those who have less in life must have more in law. In this case, must have more in agricultural services. So ang ganda po yung ugnayan natin sa mga provincial governments. And if all the 40 top producing provinces in rice, that's equivalent already to almost 80% of our total rice production. Itong problema na ating hinaharap ay that will be properly handled. Okay, what are the other measures? Can I go ahead? Okay. We are also putting up kadiwa ni Ani at Kita sa mga Metro Manila cities, so that provincial governments will bring their produce and market it through this kadiwa ni Ani at Kita. Every city, we are in the process of finalizing this arrangement para on top of the existing markets, mayroon mas mura pa na mabibili ng bigas, at hindi lang bigas na ang dadalhin ng mga probinsya dito, mga vegetables and the like. So, that's one. Another one, yung 4-piece na nandun sa DSWD, 28 billion po ang nakalaan sa rice subsidy. At binibigay po ng rice in cash, binibigay po ng cash at 600 pesos per month per beneficiary. Now, last week, we have been in touch base with the Secretary of DSWD. Sabi namin ang proposal, why not give rice this time around? And they're open. So the final discussions are being made so that this quarter, starting of course September and the next quarter, ay pwede na silang magbigay ng bigas at bibilhin nila yung bigas galing sa mga provincial governments na magnenegosyo at saka galing sa National Food Authority. So ito na po yung kinakasan natin na pagtulong sa mga farmers na apektado.
Okay. Sige, Pia.
Sir, going back to the question, yun dun sa pagbili ng mga local government units sa palay directly from the farmers, you don't see any problem dun sa procurement law kasi it mandates na dapat magkakaroon ng bidding and also dapat nakasama yon dun sa annual budget.
Yeah, I think the provincial governments have autonomy, and they have the provincial board to give them the resolution for the governor to go into business. And they know the laws, procurement laws, yes, they have to be extra cautious that they have to observe the laws as well. But they promise they will facilitate.
Facilitate using yung sa pagpasa ng mga resolutions.
Pagpasa, they're now, actually, even now, while we are talking, mayroon na mga provincial government na sinabi tapos ng resolution, we will now go into action.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Secretary, permission to read a question from Rappler, Ms. Pia Reñada. Sabi ng NEDA, noong average rice prices to go down to 27 pesos per kilo, but data shows, and given what DTI has mentioned, hindi pa ganun kababa. Bakit daw po?
Yun nga po, we are appreciating what is now obtaining in the environment. Yung karamihan po na import hindi pa lumalabas sa merkado. Pag lumabas yan, bababa yung presyo talaga. Yun po ang major reason.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. In addition to what Secretary Dar has said, I would like to inform the public that yesterday we have undergone the validation of one public market in Bulacan, Santa Maria. And the price, look, the price of local well-milled is only 25, 32. Look, the prices of rice in some areas are way below what we expect. So this is now one of the advantages of the RTL. Ang kailangan lang talaga na medyo ipus natin yung tulungan yung ating mga farmers. And I hope with this 18-point agenda, together with what our secretary has just mentioned to us or told us, it will try to arrest the problem of the farmers. Magbabantay po tayo dyan. Sana po, lahat po tayo, tulong-tulong po tayo. Kasi napakaganda po nitong RTL, no? All of us will benefit kung talagang this will be implemented properly. Salamat po.
Okay. Joyce Balancio, ang aming birthday girl secretary.
Happy birthday. Pwede ba kumanta?
Good morning. Good afternoon po. Sir, nabanggit niyo kanina may mga imported supply pa tayo na hindi pa nailalabas sa market. Bakit po? At when do we expect it to be available?
Now, they should be part of really releasing now kasi while sinasabi ni Ka Jose Susa na mayroon na mas mababa pa, ay mayroon pa rin yung beyond 37, may 40, may 41. dapat kung imported yan, ay mas mababa doon sa 37.
Sir, nabanggit nyo kanina, may hindi pa po na ilalabas na imported rice. Bakit po?
Ang laki po yung pumasok na yung datos from March to July or August. It is almost reaching 2.2, 2.5 million metric tons.
Bakit, sir, hindi pa po sila nasa market ngayon?
Yun nga, nakapagtataka. Bakit kaya minamanihar? They're managing the releases of this paunti-unti. We will move around, kasama namin ang DTI, to be sure that they are not managing for themselves only.
Sir, ito yung sinasabi niyong related sa hoarding problem, tama, sir?
Ano po yun?
Related to sa hoarding, yun
Well,
nabanggit niyo kanina.
that's part of the hoarding environment. Hindi lang yung traders or millers na may problema. We have to see na yung mga nag-import ay walang management of the supplies. In terms of, managing, meaning it's a very neutral word, but that's, you can, there are two sides of that also. Part of that is hoarding.
Sir, have you identified sino po tong hoarders na sinasabi po natin?
Well, we have records kung sino yung nag-import, so that's public.
Under investigation ba to, sir? Kung
Hindi
sino-sino po
po,
yung hoarders?
we are, ang DTI po, we are in partnering with them para makita yung presyo sa merkado at kung talagang may problema ay gagalaw po ang gobyerno.
If we have already identified these hoarders, are we planning to file cases against them?
Makiusap muna tayo.
Paano po yung magiging process nun, sir?
Well, we know who they are. We have the list. So, papasyalan namin. Siguro pwede ba magkape muna? Then, alamin po natin bakit hindi sila naglalabas. Then, we have to encourage them to really bring out more these stocks.
And if they don't listen
Of
to...
course, the full force of the law will be there to be implemented.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, they Alvis, GMA 7 to be followed by Marian.
Secretary, ngayong wala na pong regulatory powers ang NFA. So who will regulate, sir, the rice industry? Ito pong mga traders, millers, importers.
Well, wala na yon, but DA and DTI will have to elevate itong responsibilidad kasi general consuming public ang naapektuhan and the farmers also. So it's a joint responsibility. Nandun naman sa mandato ng dalawang ahensya na iprotektahan din natin ang consuming public. Ang DA particularly will be protecting the interests also of the farmers. So it's a balancing act.
Okay, Marian. Marian, then Jinky.
Hi, sir. Sir, sabi niyo po kanina na the DSWD is open dun sa proposal niya na instead of yung 600 pesos na rice subsidy is mismong bigas na po yung ibibigay.
We are at this stage, final discussion at nagsasuggest sila na mag-MOA na kami.
Okay. So, sir, kailan po kaya magiging policy po ito? And sir, may option po ba yung mga 4-piece beneficiaries na cash pa rin yung kukunin nila instead of bigas? Or ire-require po na bigas yung kukunin po talaga?
Now, we are also talking with the legislative branch. Kasi kung sa batas yan, at kunti ang flexibility, we will suggest na mas maganda kung bigas. Yun ang position natin. At i-recommenda natin na this is a permanent policy.
Okay, sir. So, sir, kailan po yung MOA signing niyo po? Yung
Wala pa po, but nag-umpisa lang ang ugnayan mga 10 days ago.
Okay, sir. So, sir, hindi pa po siya may implement this year?
No, we are. That's the target po. Pwede pwede nang i-convert nila. If there is a way na convert na into rice, gagawin na natin ito. Harvest time.
So, kailan po magsa-start? October, sir? Next quarter?
Well,
Pwede na po?
Hopefully by October, ayos na po yun.
Okay, sir. Thank you po.
Okay, mag-last two na tayo. Okay, Jinky, IBC 13.
Sir, hi po. Sir, last time po sa Senate hearing, parang question ni Senator Villar about dun sa paggamit daw ng 4 billion para sa rice program. She said na parang it's not part of RCEF, so it should be returned to RCEF supposedly, or I mean, reallocated to RCEF or return the fund kung hindi ginamit
I
doon
think
sa...
naayos na po yung ganun na misunderstanding. Naayos na po at na-recognize na ginamit ng kagawaran ng pagsasaka na as part of the regular program at may allocation na pinakita at that has been fully understood. Wala na.
So hindi niya na pinababalik sa inyo,
Hindi
sir?
na po. Nagamit na.
Okay, sir. Thank you po.
Okay, Hannah, Sunshine TV.
Hi sir, good afternoon. Sir, may cabinet meeting po kayo this afternoon, sir. Isasama niyo po ba sa agenda po ninyo tong issue ng mga farmers po kay Pangulong Duterte?
Wala po, pero we have requested our good president na kung pwede po, we will bring in the top 30 or top 40 provincial governors in terms of producing rice para one session with the president together with the traders and millers from the respective provinces. Ang aming suggestion kay ating mahal na Pangulo ay para makiusap siya rin na, ngayon po season ng harvest ng palay, magtutulungan po tayo lahat at ibalik natin yung tamang presyo para makaangat na rin ang ating mga magsasaka.
Sir, kailan po natin nakikita na mangyayari to?
We were hoping, of course, that's the President's call now, and we were only suggesting itong mga mid-September.
Sir, alam na po ng Pangulo, sir, na
Opo.
major factor po yung mga hoarders po.
Lahat po, we are informing the President. We have a bulletin regular on the palay issue.
Nagkaroon po ba siya ng fresh directive sa inyo, sir? Directives po regarding the issue po.
Ang positive naman, pero I mean, walang written directive. Alam mo na yon kung wala, maganda yung hinahatak mo na strategy or mechanism, sinutuloy namin.
Sir, maliban din sa issue ng mga hoarders, sir, ano po yung maging konkreto po, recommendation na ibibigay niyo sa Pangulo doon sa mga hinaing po ng mga farmers, doon sa presyo po ng mga palay nila po?
Diba, we have started identifying the measures. I have already mentioned the rollover system ng NFA, the warehouses of NFA to be leased to the provincial governors or provincial governments. Provincial governments, about 25 already committed to do business, palay buying, milling, and selling rice. If they don't have the capacity now, they can invest their money through NFA. We are working with DSWD in terms of converting the cash into rice so that DSWD buys the rice from provincial governments and NFA for that matter. We are studying other measures para ma-stabilize lahat presyo ng rice sa merkado. Dapat bababa pa. Of course, there are indications na bumababa. Pero yung mga imported rice has to come up more para normal na ang sitwasyon. It's normal, but it can be much more normal.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, RJ, then Pia.
Sir? Hi, sir. Sir, any update on the reported swine disease, sir? Any action?
Siguro magandang pag-usapan natin in another forum. I will give an update to the cabinet tonight. After that, pwede tayo mag-usap. And we have scheduled pala yung Boodle Fight na kakain tayo ng mga karne, iba't ibang luto, galing sa pork. Sa Friday, we are inviting you. Mga barbecue, igado, whatever. Luluto po tayo para lahat kayo ay mabubusog. Walang delikado doon sa karne ng baboy. So invited kayo 11 o'clock Friday at the grounds of the Bureau of Soils and Water Management.
Sir, a follow-up ko lang, sir, sa Sagip Saka, sir. Once the IRR is signed this week, that will be followed by the creation of an interagency task force, correct, sir?
Everything that is required by the law and by IRR, why not? That's
Alright.
part of it.
Thank you.
Okay, last question na tayo kay Pia? Or may Pia Gutierrez and then Lee?
Kay Sir Luis po, how would you assess, paano yung mga tulong po na binibigay ng gobyerno to help you dun to address the effects ng rice tariffication law, sir?
Sa ngayon po, yung pong malaki na po na itulong ng Department of Agriculture through the intervention dito sa mga palay, mga binhi natin. At yung sila po ay may mga suporta, another support yung po tungkol sa insurance, meron po sila. At actually po yung aming mga farmer doon sa amin sa Ibaan ay nakakatanggap na. At yun po ay malaking tulong po yun. Kahit pa paano po, kahit bumagsak po yung presyo ng ating palay, naibsa naman po yung mga problema na maliliit na magsasaka. Kaya kami po ay, sa akin pong biha po ang aking mga kasamang farmer doon sa aming bayan, kami po ay nagpapasalamat sa Department of Agriculture at sa mga tulong na kanilang ipinaabot sa amin, maging doon sa lahat na po ng nasa ilalim ng Departamento ng Agrikultura, sa regional director namin, talaga po kami, maging sa patubig po na kami po ay kanilang tinulungan tungkol doon sa irrigation. Kami pinagpapasalamat diyan na malaki na pong tulong at nawa po dito pa sa susunod na panahon na ito sa panguna po ng ating bagong Secretary William Dar ng DA. Kami po ay umaasa na kami mga maliliit na magsasaka ay makakaahon at makakasuporta po doon sa aming yung mga problema po ng ating mga magsasaka ay matutugunan. Kaya marami pong salamat.
Okay. Kay Secretary po. Sir, may question lang yung office. Could you please comment? May mga usap-usapan po kasi or that the previous administration of the Department of Agriculture used the funds for the RCEP para ipambayad sa utang ng DA sa NFA. Could you
Wala
address this?
pong katotohanan yun. I have seen the records myself at they have been spent, they have been allocated to various regions of the country, and that's now what we are now sending out to the farmers. May importante na outcome eh. We are distributing the machines, we are distributing the seeds. All these interventions are really helping even at this point in time. So, yun po, it was spent. Of course, there were regions na walang hindi proactive at nag-request ng allocation. Di wala silang may bigay ngayon sa mga farmers.
Okay, Pia. Last question na tayo. Lay Alvis.
Secretary, sa monitoring po ng DA, ano po yung pinakamababang presyo ng palay na nakarating po sa inyo? Kasi sa Pampanga daw po, mas mura na ang palay kesa po sa darak.
Tama po, 10 pesos. Mga extreme, mga 8 pesos. Ganun po, nakakarating. That's why kami hindi natutulog na 24/7 itong trabaho na ito. Para sa ganun, we are looking at measures paano pa natin talaga pabalikin yung presyo na farm gate price at 17 pesos.
And sir, sa Malolos, Bulacan, may reported deaths daw po ng mga baboy. Ano pong information ng DA
Wala
dito?
pa man nakarating sa akin kung Malolos ang pinag-usapan. Mayroon mga areas na una ay apektado pero na-manihar natin, na-contain natin, na-control natin. Now, if it is true na may Malolos, this is a new incident.
Can I just answer that? Because I'm from Malolos, no? I've been with the, with the director, with the Dr. Angie of Bulacan, BetMed yesterday. Kasama ko siya sa validation sa Santa Maria Market. actually asked the same question that you asked. Sabi niya, there is no confirmation na meron sakit na mga swine sa Bulacan.
Yeah, from our point of view, wala.
Opo. Sir, pero we were able to interview yung mga may-ari po ng mga piggery po doon na mga backyard piggery.
Sa Bulacan?
Opo, sa Bulacan po.
Malulos?
Opo, yes. Umaabot na po sa 40 plus yung sa isang piggery.
Pwede ba bigyan kami ng informasyon kasi ang process yan, yung mga municipal agriculturists or kung may vetmed sila, reports to the provincial veterinarian at magde-deploy agad following what we call 1710 protocol. The guidelines are in place all over the country. So kung may incidents, dapat na-cordon na yung 1 kilometer radius. Yung 7 kilometer radius ay surveillance kung may sakit na doon. Yung 10 talagang minamanmanan mo. So ground zero, 1 kilometer, wala nang papasok.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Lay. Okay na. No more questions ng MPC. Okay, thank you. Raymond? Okay, thank you, Secretary Dar. Salamat sa ating mga bisita.
Maraming salamat po mga kaibigan.
Okay, back to our main studio sa People's Television Network.
Salamat po.